Welcome back to Church Production. I'm Marcel Patillo. Over the last several years, video has really come to the forefront of almost every business and ministry. Video and audio quality has really risen across the board, kind of leaving all of us to kind of keep up with this new standard of quality that's been laid out. And Remote Control Studios has been doing just that by putting together affordable packages that you can use almost anywhere, at your home, at your desk, at your office. These packages will help you keep up with the new quality standard. And we've partnered with Will Chapman, the online minister at Cottonwood Creek Church, as well as Patrick Elkins, the co-founder of Church Creators Network, to really get their insight on what they thought about Remote Control Studios. But before we get started, give this video a like and subscribe to the Church Production YouTube channel.
Well, for me, it was, hey, this is something that I was currently looking for my pastor. We were trying to set up something for him to allow him to be able to quickly sit down, get a good video recording with good audio, and to be able to give it over to our creative team to be able to do something quickly with it, or for him to be able to take that and just upload it to his Instagram or whatever that he might want to do. But when I saw that Remote Control Studios had already thought all of this out and put together a kit to really be able to pull off a really good look and sound, but do so in a way that someone who's non-technical could sit down and figure out and to be able to have confidence in using.
I was definitely excited to give the product a try. Looking at their kit, seeing what they provided. As personally, I've been on many more calls, especially in the digital realm. It's been definitely something that's been on my mind to level up the quality of my presentation. That being said, I was trying to make do with the equipment that I had, and being a presenter or an influencer, thinking about YouTube, thinking about webinars, thinking about whatever it is. For me, I was pretty happy with the equipment that I had, but I was interested to see what level of impact was it going to make once I set up this kit. And I can say the excellence in the quality, it's apples and oranges, completely different.
So I've been on YouTube now for a little over 5 years, and my setup is a bit elaborate. I've got a microphone running into an audio interface that's connected to my computer, as well as a camera connected to my computer via capture card, as well as I've got a key light right in front of me and several lights behind me that some of them you can see in frame and some of you can't, to really make me pop in front of the camera. Now, that's a lot to do, especially on a regular basis, and I definitely don't expect everyone to set up a mini video studio in their living room. And I know a lot of people that would like to start channels or look better on Zoom, or maybe want to start webinars that really need an easier setup to work with on a regular basis, and maybe one that they can set up and tear down. But let's go ahead and get into Will Chapman and Patrick Elkins' first impressions when it came to the Remote Control Studios.
My initial thoughts were that, man, I'm glad that they're using some Pelican cases. Because those cases are sturdy. I've had a lot of really good experience with it. And so I knew that whatever happened in the shipping process, that the equipment was going to arrive very well protected and ready to go right out of the box. And then when I opened up the box and saw how carefully it was packed and how they had cut out the foam and how it had really been well thought out, that was a really good first impression for me to be able to see that right from the case opening.
I first received the kits when the Pelican case showed up. My initial thought was, these guys are serious. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. But it appeared just very professional, very well done. And from the moment I cracked it open, there should have been smoke and angels, just incredibly well put together. Wonderful experience. Everything was organized to the T. And so, the first impressions were amazing.
Will and Patrick's setups with the Remote Control Studios actually looks pretty great, and it's almost hard for me to believe that with such a miniature setup, they've been able to push out such great quality in video and audio. And like I mentioned, it almost doesn't make sense for someone that does this as often as me to have to tear down and set up such an elaborate setup like I do all the time. But Will and Patrick actually go on to describe a quite simple setup process.
Oh, it was a fun experience, and Patrick and I actually got on the same call with them, and they took us through the whole entire setup process. And it was so easy because they have a very well thought out way to be able to help their users set up the kit and be using it as quickly as possible.
One thing that I thought was really amazing, on almost every call that I got on, somebody who wasn't expecting to see my screen this way. When I started looking at them directly in the eyes, one, they were kind of questioning, hey, where's your camera, by the way? Man, I love your background. It looks like you got this YouTuber setup going on. Like, almost every person I spoke with or had a call with immediately recognized the quality perspective.
I love that, because when you buy everything kind of separately from different manufacturers like I have and kind of mix them all together, I can't call any one of these companies and get them to video conference me in to walk me through how to make it all work together and how to make it all look and sound good. So that's a huge plus alone with Remote Control Studios. And lastly, of course, I've got to ask, what kind of person is the Remote Control Studios for? Across the board, what are some other applications, people, and processes that would be great with the Remote Control Studios?
A non-technical user will feel like they can have a very short learning curve and then be able to see a quality level jump in both their video and audio immediately. They even help you with some of the camera settings to be able to make sure that you're getting that look that you want and making sure that the audio is clean, because I was even impressed about how easy they made it for audio setup. And they made sure that the microphone was set up in a good way to be able to make sure that as soon as we got off that call, I had nothing to worry about except opening up my computer, turning on whatever video conferencing software I was going to use, and be off and running.
Just a few of the applications that I envision. One would be, obviously, if you are a YouTuber or an influencer, or somebody that's on a lot of webinar calls, or even Zoom or Google Meet calls, anything that you're doing that really is an interactive meeting that's digital online, this experience just elevates the quality. And so another thing that I thought of actually out here at our church at Bethel and Redding, we have multiple college programs that are online based. And so for anyone who's teaching a class, maybe you're doing a webinar, maybe you're teaching for a university and you're doing classes with students online, this is just an amazing way to encounter and be able to connect and engage with those students, because if you have 20 people on your screen, you can actually scroll the screen over, and I've actually done multiple meetings with kind of the gallery view with many people in the screen. And whenever I'm addressing a certain person, I can move their headshot right over the center of the camera and speak to them directly eye to eye.
So a big thank you to Remote Control Studios for really thinking ahead and filling a much needed space in the market for people at home or in their office, or maybe not tech savvy, that need to have a great look and sound on a regular basis. And a big thank you to Will Chapman from Cottonwood Creek Church, as well as Patrick Elkins from Church Creatives Network, for really taking the time, setting up these kits, and giving us your insight on what makes them so great and usable. For now, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the Church Production YouTube channel, as well as check out churchproduction.com for new articles and insights on everything church production. As always, I'm Marcel Patillo, and we'll see you all in the next one.